More now on what's next for the North Korea situation. Gordon Chang is here, foreign affairs journalist, author of Nuclear Showdown, North Korea Takes on the World. It's had a good week.
Well, North Korea certainly had a good week. We had that summit. Kim Jong-un got legitimization. That means it solidified his rule back home. And that was important for him because he had some problems with the military, because we know that because of that military reshuffle, the top 3 officers being changed. And we also know that he's had problems at the bottom of his country as well, because he's created expectations. Everyone wants a better life. So we know that Kim had an excellent week. He's got those pictures. North Korean propaganda is really sort of, we're going to see those pictures forever as long as Kim's in charge.
If you back it up a little farther, though, you're one who's been saying this president had handled that situation very well, that we were in a better position.
Yeah. 10 days ago, I think Trump being Trump put us in a really good position. It was only the North Koreans who were making concessions.
What did they concede?
They conceded 2 things. First of all, they gave up the 3 Americans last month. Also, they made pledges. We know that through Moon Jae-in, the South Korean president. They said they give up all of their arsenal in exchange for 2 things. The U.S. signing a peace treaty to end the Korean War formally, and also a pledge not to attack them. That's not too bad a deal. Especially if they get everything, give up everything. But the point is, at that summit, we got a joint statement, but that joint statement was unusually vague. Now, I know it's not the end of the deal. It's just like a term sheet, as lawyers or negotiators would say. But the point is, we should have gotten something more for that term sheet.
Well, we gave up the handshake, right?
We gave up the handshake. And there's one other thing that you just mentioned.
We gave a security promise.
In the joint statement, yeah, we said we'd give a security promise. We said, and they said that they'd go for complete denuclearization of the peninsula. They said that they would return remains, which is a good thing. I think it was really good for President Trump to put that on the agenda. It was not something that people were talking about, so the president gets credit for that. But the point is, then the president turns around at the press conference after his meeting with Kim, and he says, look, we're going to stop the military exercises.
You know, he called them war games, which the North Koreans have been doing for the better part of 30 years.
Yeah. War games is a term that he must have heard from Kim Jong-un, because he didn't hear it from the Pentagon. And he also said that the quote-unquote war games were provocative. That's North Korean and Chinese talking points. Yeah. They're not provocative. I mean, those are defensive. And the point here is we're not only defending South Korea, we're defending the United States. Because,
well, did he say that because he knew that's what the North Koreans wanted to hear? Because he'd clearly just heard it from them. I mean, they've always called them provocative. Why wouldn't they call them provocative to him?
Yeah.
So if he agrees with that a little bit, maybe he'll get something else. I was wondering if maybe that was the thinking.
Well,
I would have asked him that. But.
Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah.
And we won't know for a long time.
Why would he say today the North Korea threat is over? I mean, saying something like that, it's kind of it just makes you wonder about everything. You know?
I mean, North Korea on Monday had enough fissile material for somewhere between, let's say, 20 and 60 warheads. Yeah. They still have it today. They still have the same number of ICBMs. I don't think
Who's in charge of that stuff?
It would be the military.
Yeah, but I mean, do multiple people have control? I mean, are they guarded in the way that other nations' nukes are guarded? We don't have a clue, do we?
We don't know. You know, we've worked very closely with Pakistan to put links on their nukes, even though our relations with Islamabad sometimes haven't been good.
Yeah.
But we have not had that same relationship with North Korea about securing loose nukes.
So, like, there's a real worry of a misstep or a rogue actor doing something that could start a conflict that could quickly escalate.
Yeah, that would be the case if the military was so unhappy with Kim that they got rid of him, because then you'd see probably the military divide. You'd have China in there as well. It would be a situation which we would not be able to figure out. That is our nightmare scenario. And it's also probably China's as well. But China does have links into the North Korean military. They've had them for decades. The Kim family has purged military officers who have had links with China. And then China just goes out and buys more generals. It's a very interesting process. But the point is, we're on the outside and we don't know.
Gordon Chang, thank you.
Thanks, Shep.